We are up. We are alive. I think we're ready to rock and roll. Check this cord real quick just to make sure. All right. So, it is Thursday, October the 16th, and we want to welcome everyone to this presentation of Consciousness Ascending. This is Accelerating Your Journey. My name is Benny Ferguson. I channel the non-physical collective known as Abraham. And we are all excited to be here. We're excited to be of support, not just in aiding you along your path of growth and expansion, this journey of enlightenment that we are all on, but to accelerate the process, the opportunity to support you in accelerating the process. That's the goal, so that you can realize your truth in source, the you that is free of fear, the you that is able to act on your inspirations now in this moment to live the life that you are inspired to live and be the light that you are meant to be, whether that is a global light or just an immense light in your home. Both are magnificently precious and powerful. So, let's get started. Today's topic is, which set of senses makes the most sense? Which set of senses makes the most sense? Your choice of masters makes the difference. Let's get started. Conscious creators. Your choice of masters makes the difference. Which set of senses are you following? Which set of senses is the priority? When we say senses, we're talking about external or internal. If your external senses are the master, if your external senses are the ruler of what? The ruler of your attention, then you are caught in loops of creation. And when we say loops of creation, we are saying that you are caught in a process of observing experience, feeling and seeing the experience on the inside, engaging it completely on the inside, expressing that experience based on what you have observed and entertained inwardly as a result of that observation, and then as a result recreating similar experiences. This is the loop that you're in. If your external senses, that which is presented to you through your external senses, are your masters, or is your priority. Now, here's the thing. This is the plight of most beings who are human. Even those who are on this path of growth and expansion, those who are aware that they are on the journey, or on a journey of enlightenment, the journey of enlightenment, it still can take time to make the adjustment, to rein in the attention off of the external presentation of experience. Understand that the external presentation of experience is not the truth. The external presentation of experience is the result, or the results of the truth. External experience is not a cause. It has no creative power. It is immediately history. This conversation, this interaction will immediately be history once it's over. The interaction that you had, or the experience that you had at the gas station, at the store, at the stoplight, was immediately history once it was over. What caused it? What was the causing factors? Right? That you and the individuals involved in the experience, whether it was a beautiful experience or a not so great experience, what were the causing factors that created the perfect timing for you and them to meet at that precise moment? The causing factors were not in the moment of the experience. You have to understand that. Your experience, none of your experiences are causes. They are effects. But if the external is your master. If the external, the information, the data that comes in through your external senses is the priority, is the master, then you are caught in a loop, cycles of creation. And this is the source of the repetition that occurs as experience, the highs, the lows. If you notice, if you expand your awareness, you see that they're very, very similar in how they make you feel. In how they make you feel. They're very similar. The faces change, the locations change, but the experience and the ideas and the emotions and the feelings that are triggered within the mind and body remain the same. The reason is that the external is not the cause. Again, you are in a loop of creation. You're observing experience. That experience is causing you to see in your mind's eye certain images. It's causing you to feel in a way in alignment with the experience and the images. And in that seeing and feeling internally, you are expressing vibrationally the very idea. And in your expressing, you are creating. This is why your experience in relationships have stayed the same over years. This is why most experience in their financial experience has stayed the same over years. This is why most experience in their health and well-being has stayed the same over years. You think it's a physical thing, but it's more an energetic and a mental thing, with the cause and effect at play. So let's talk about what happens when you change the priority, when you shift your attention and your focus inwardly. Well, what happens when you shift inwardly is that you have no template. There is no template for experience. When you shut down your attention on the external, you have no template. What appears on the screen of your mind is that which you choose to place on the screen of your mind. When you say, okay, I am erasing the banks of memory, I'm erasing the banks of pain and drama and trauma and suffering. I may even erase the banks of the highs of my experience because I want to create something new, something even higher, something even more expansive. And when you clear the screen and you look to your inner being, what is it that I am inspired to create? And then you begin to utilize the same faculties that were being used in reaction to your observation externally. You use your imagination to create a scene, to create the imagery of that which you are inspired to, and we'll call it intention. You use and work within the body to establish the feeling. What is the feeling of that imagery? What is the feeling of the scene, of the experience that you are being inspired to? And now you've activated those faculties in the same way that they were triggered by observing external, but now you are choosing versus reacting. And what happens? In your expressing energetically of the imagery and the idea, and in your expressing of the synonymous feeling that places you in alignment with the experience, because the experience that you're entertaining visually in your mind has a feeling place, and that feeling place is what aligns you with the experience. Now you are expressing it vibrationally, in frequency, in tone. And what happens first, because this is a new experience, this is a new endeavor that you are intending to create, what happens first is you begin to build the momentum. The more you remain in alignment, the more you are in alignment and are not resisting in any way or in conflict with it in any way, the less fear you have around the potential experience, the less disbelief and doubt you have toward the potential experience. You are creating momentum, and that momentum fuels the creation of the experience externally. And once it begins to reveal itself externally and you begin to observe with your physical senses, now you have new loops beginning to be established. And just as your past experiences, that which you are transitioning from, once the loops have established themselves, you no longer have to try because it begins to work, in a sense, on autopilot. Right? How does a person go from broken relationship to broken relationship, and they'll say out of their mouth, I don't know why or how I keep finding the same type people in relationship. Right? They established a cycle, and now they no longer have to think about it. The cycle is on autopilot. Right? Individuals who are unaware continue to find similar job positions, similar career positions with similar financial return. It's because the loops are created, have been established, and they're on autopilot. So you're always constantly finding yourself in a similar position. So what does all of this mean? All this means is that the integrative process, which we have discussed before, the integrative process is cause, is the source of your experience. The external is an effect. The external is not the truth. The external is merely your sensory, the taking in of data through your physical senses, but the data is being interpreted through your mind's eye based on that which you believe is possible and unconsciously are expecting. This is how you and your best friend can look at a circumstance and see something different. Different points of the same event are priorities to you because of how you are filtering it through your mind and body, and how they are filtering it through their mind and body. It's how you and your partner can go to a restaurant and have completely different experiences. They can be sitting right beside you and have a not so great experience with the food and with the waiter or waitress and the ambiance, and you can have an amazing experience. It's because how the experience is being filtered and interpreted through their mind's eye. So it's not about the experience, it's about that which you have going on internally and how you are interpreting it. Which in turn, this being the truth, is constantly creating. Because you are expressing vibrationally the ideas, the imagery, and the aligning feeling that connects you to that experience and similar experiences. So as you think about your life right now, what's your master? The external or the internal? Which one is the priority? The external or the internal? Which one now do you see holds the key to your true personal power? The external or the internal? And you have to build the muscle. We understand that. You have to understand that. Don't let this be a pressure thing. Don't let this be a competition thing. Don't let this process move you into frustration, because you have to build the muscle. Will things begin to appear immediately when you begin to rein your attention in and begin to focus internally on new ideas? Can it happen? Yes. Do you want to expect it? Sure. But you have to be okay with it playing out in a way that's perfect for you. If you are of the state of being and state of mind that you are capable of handling an immediate manifestation, it can happen for you. But it's possible that you need to develop the state of being that matches up with your new intention so that it can be a consistent expression. If your state of being is not a pure match right now for your intention, then if it did show up right now or tomorrow and you're not a match for it from your in your state of being and your vibrational expression, it will not be a consistent experience. Your state of being has to be a match. Your state of being has to be a match. Your state of being has to be a match. And that's why there's often a time frame between the initiating of an intention, the establishing of alignment, and the actual experience. Because the state of being has to develop. Once you achieve the state of being with consistency, you are driving the experience in the same way that you have driven the other experiences, desired and undesired. Right? The undesired experiences that you have had in your life and that you are having now are not separate from the core of your inner creative process. It's all the same. The information is being sown through your attention into your inner creative process, and your inner creative process in turn is causing you to express and create experiences for you that are perfect reflections of your state of being. State of being being the dominant ideas and the vibrational expressions that are in alignment with those dominant ideas. That's what state of being is. So your inner creative process does not decipher between wanted or unwanted, liked or not liked, good, bad, right, wrong, all of that stuff. All it knows is the information that you are sowing through which you are holding your attention and focus on. So how do you change experience? You change your attention and your focus. And how do you change your attention and your focus? Through our suggestion is taking your eyes off of the external and the information that your external experiences are presenting and sowing into your inner creative process, and begin to look inward and focus inward and develop the ideas, the imagery, and connect the associated feeling to that which you are intending. And hold that position as often as you can, no matter what is occurring outside of you, understanding that first you begin to create the momentum, understanding that you are becoming that which is in alignment with the experience so that the experience holds consistent, and understanding that evidence will begin to show up in your experience of that experience on approach. Easy. There's nothing outside of this process. So if you want to play with it with a specific type of car, a car that you've never seen before, right? A car that you've never seen before. Maybe it's an exotic car of some kind. You begin to hold that in your mind's eye, and you begin to feel the feeling of that car as it pertains to you, and give it time, and you will begin, that car will begin to show up in your experience. Maybe in your media sources at first, but eventually it will begin to show up in your experience. You will see it in a parking lot. It will pass you, something of that nature. It will physically show up. It could be a food substance. It could be ice cream or something of that nature. Whatever you begin to hold in your mind's eye, it can be an idea of a job or career that you have never considered, never thought of. And if you begin to hold that idea inside of your mind's eye, evidence of that which you are holding internally will begin to show up in your experience. And we suggest you play with it to begin to do what? Build the muscle of your awareness and your knowing that this is the truth. Your internal is the truth and not the external. And the more you prove it to yourself, the stronger the muscle. The stronger the muscle of attention, the stronger the muscle of focus. inwardly. The stronger your expectation, not of people, not of things, but of the return of the energies being reflected based on that which you are offering as an expression. And the stronger you get in these ideas, the more powerful a creator you are. And then you can begin to look toward those areas of your life that you feel are important. Your financial abundance, your relationships, your health and well-being, your job or career, the expression of your passion, that which you are inspired to, really unpacking your purpose, your authenticity, and that which it is pushing you, urging you to be, do, and have. All of these areas that you hold high, once you have created and built the muscle of awareness and understanding of the process, then you turn and face those areas with this proof and evidence to you, and then begin to move toward the creating of those experiences with passion, because you understand the process and you've proven it to yourself. So you're moving in those directions with passion and excitement, because you know how the process works. You've proven it to yourself. You've seen evidence over and over and over again. You're excited for the revealing of the resistance and the inner conflict, because you know the more you remove that, the more consistently you're in alignment with your expression, with your intention. And the more frequently you are, the more consistently you are in alignment with your intention, the bigger and the stronger the momentum is being created. And just as your past was created by you, your future will be created by you. Which one is your master? Which one is your priority? That which is being presented to you through your external senses, or that which you are in control of, responsible for? Your internal, that which you are observing internally with your internal senses. That's the question. It reveals your place of power, your only place of power, and it reveals the truth of your boundless potential. We're thankful. We're thankful for each of you who have participated in the creation of this interaction. We have leaned on your energies to present this material. We are thankful for each of you who have found this recording and allowed us to be of support in that manner. If you have found value, be sure to subscribe. Look to the description for ways that you can engage with us deeper and more powerfully. If you have questions, comments, or anything of that nature that you would like us to discuss, please place those in the chat now, and we'll take a few moments to discuss those. Hello, Maddie. Hey, Anna. Hey, Catherine. Anyone have any questions or comments today? That's fantastic. Anna says, I have been contemplating how good can my life get. What can you share about this idea? That's an excellent contemplation. We would be interested to know what your inner being presented to you on the screen of your mind. That's the question for anyone. And understand that the possibilities continue to expand the more you understand you. The more you prove to yourself, that's excellent based on what we were talking about. The more you understand the inner creative process, the more you accept that you are creating. The question is, What can't I create? That's the question. What can't I create once I have an image? Once I am capable of creating some level of clarity and specificity, and once I have established myself in the feeling of that experience, if you can do that, you can create it. You can go from who you are now to a rocket scientist. You can go from where you are now to a new home, a new car, a new job, a new career. There are no obstacles in vibration, in frequency. The only obstacles is your disbelief in the possibility, in your conditioning as it stands, all of which are within one's control. If it's not serving you, you can release it. If you're not sure you have the idea that firmly aligns you with an experience desired, or you feel you don't, you can sow it, you can cultivate it. It's all within you. You can make an idea that is in conflict with an intention weaker. You can make stronger and more dominant an idea that serves you more, moving in the direction of an intention. The belief that resources, finances, money are all around you and trying to make their way to you in excess. The belief that source, universe, and all of the people that might be a resource for you are all there for you, ready for you as you begin to move forward towards your intentions. When you firmly believe in these things, that which is necessary begins to reveal itself. Abundance is all there is. Resourcefulness is all there is. And there is an immense well and pool. There is an infinite supply of potential for each one to access. The fact that anyone being a magnificent success takes away from the possibility of another to be a success is a huge misinterpretation, is a huge misunderstanding. That which is possible on your planet is not even a single drop in the pool, in the ocean of potential. It's not. So when you ask the question, what is possible for me? How much better can my life can be? How much more expansive can my life be? Ask that question in your meditation. Look to your imagination. Look to your inner being to present that which is a possible, potential, inspired next for you on the screen of your mind. Connect with the feeling of that intention and that possibility, and then go about moving toward it in whatever way you are inspired to, understanding that the first things that will start to happen is that any resistance that you might have to it will begin to reveal itself. And with acceptance and gratitude and love, look to that resistance. Go through the process of releasing that resistance so that you can be more and more consistent in the feeling place, alignment with the intention and the vision of that intention. As often as you can, play in the vision of your intention. Play in the experience from the first person. Not watching it, but as a participant in it. Play in it as often as you can. There is no limitation as to what you can create for yourself. And the interesting thing is you don't want to create everything. You want to create what you're inspired to, because each one carries their own inspirations. Everyone doesn't want that specific type of car. Everyone doesn't want that specific type of house. Everyone doesn't want to travel to the exact same place. Each one has their own excellent, perfect inspirations that hold within them growth and expansion that is perfect and excellent for that individual. This is what you're looking for. This is what you want to follow. Thank you for that comment. Thank you for that question. Anyone else? Let's see. Uh, feel so connected to the angels. Do you have any advice on how I can connect with them more clearly? I know they hear me. I'm a chatty one. I love my spirit friends so very much. Thank you. Yes. Here's a simple example. Benny's mom made her transition in 2020. And he and his sisters are not as far along down this path as he is, but he and his younger sister next to the oldest sister, they can feel mom's presence when she's around. Benny knows now that he really needs to say her name. And he can feel her presence and know that she is present. And for each of you, it's the same. If you know that which you are desiring to connect with, in beauty, in love, with excitement, in those frequencies, get yourself into those type frequencies which are in frequency and energy closer to that which you are intending to connect with, and call their name. If you know your angels are there and you desire to interact with them and to be able to perceive their communication, call their name and play with being in the frequency of those entities. Ask your inner being, what is the frequency of my angels? What is the frequency of my support team? What is the frequency? Because in the frequency is the ability to communicate and interact clearly. That's all you have to do. Get yourself into a high vibrational state, because anything that you want to interact with on the non-physical plane, in the non-physical plane, is of a higher frequency, a higher vibrational expression. So that is what separates you from being able to perceive their interaction. So just play with that, with the intention of connecting, with the intention, the powerful, strong, with resolve, knowing, and certainty, intention of connecting. And when that's the baseline, and then you begin to ask the question, what's the frequency? What's the frequency? What's the frequency? And you know they're there. What's the frequency? And now you're looking for it. And you've engaged your inner being. And they know you're looking for it. And so they're interacting with you in hopes that you perceive the connection. And once you finally perceive the connection, it's a done deal. You always have it. You know how to turn straight to 95.5 once you realize it. Does that make sense? We hope that makes sense. Play with it. Play with it. And then if you desire support in that, just touch base with us. Anyone else? Awesome. All right. Fantastic. Amazing. Beautiful. Excellent. Powerful. Expansive. Infinite. Eternal. That's what this interaction has been. That's what you are. And again, we are thankful for each of you who have been here and supported us in the creation of this interaction. We're thankful for those of you who have found this recorded and allowed us to be of support in that manner. We love you very, very much, and we will talk to you soon.